demonstration of high-tech transformer-like fighting machines. Fast.
Increase your bucket to left 15!
36 knots and increasing.
Yeah, here we go, here we go.
Versatile.
Hang it up, hang it up.
All right, get this done quickly.
And deadly.
We're green range to kill it. Kill it.
Ceasefire! Ceasefire!
These are the pioneering warships, USS Freedom and USS Independence. In the 21st century, the U.S. Navy must deal with a new wave of violent threats.
The world has changed since the end of the Cold War in the early 1990s, when we were focused mainly on an open ocean war with our aircraft carrier battle groups, cruisers, and destroyers. The spread of modern weaponry has gone from state hands to out-of-state hands. Mines, anti-ship cruise missiles, fast-swarming attack craft can operate in very shallow water, where our legacy ships can't get in at them.
In response, the Navy commissioned a new class of warship. The LCS, or Littoral Combat Ship. Their cutting-edge design uses aluminum to lighten the weight of the ship, allowing them to operate in the shallow waters, known as the littorals.
They're very fast ships. They use water jets, which makes them highly maneuverable. They can go faster than any of the threat surface craft they might encounter. They can add new combat systems without having to do a wholesale change out of the computing architecture. That's a first in the United States Navy.
Freedom and Independence, the first two ships of the class, are prototypes that the Navy is still refining.
They are research and development ships, and they went from idea to hitting the fleet in about half the length of time of what we normally would do for a surface combatant. So we're still learning a lot.
Now, both ships must pass a grueling round of tests if they hope to stay on schedule to deploy with the rest of the fleet. In Southern California, crews install one of 3 interchangeable combat systems on Freedom. The Surface Warfare Mission Package. The ship's captain is 17-year Navy veteran Commander Patrick Bean.
Surface Warfare Mission Package consists of 2 30mm gun mounts mounted back above my flight deck, 2 11-meter rigid hull inflatable boats, or RIBs, what we like to call them, and MH-60 Romeo helicopter.
The backbone of the package, 2 30mm high-velocity cannons, have been used for years on Marine expeditionary vehicles.
Ready?
Now Thien hopes to prove that the guns can work just as well on an LCS ship.
Overall objective for this underway is test our combat system against a variety of threats. So it's going to be fun. We're going to test the combat system all the way out.
The other LCS-class ship, USS Independence, prepares to set out from Florida.
How many more pallets of supplies do you have?
Its captain, Commander Jerry Olin, who enlisted at 18, has worked his way up the chain of command. His ship is installing a different combat system.
We're about to take Independence out for testing to try to integrate all of the components of the new Mine Countermeasures Warfare Mission Package.
This mission package uses a remote-controlled underwater vehicle and specially equipped helicopter to scan coastal waters for mines, classify them, and then destroy them. Much of this equipment is still unproven, so civilian experts will ride along on both ships.
I've got representatives on board from a multitude of program offices that own different components, several naval engineering centers.
501 and with Dahlgren Division, the certification.
We are guests on this ship. No one likes, is it guests and fish or go bad after 3 days. So we have to be very cognizant. We are here not because we have a right to be, but because they allow us to be.
3 things right now that I'm looking at for Killer Tomato.
Right.
They're here to make sure the systems are, number 1, operating at design, and number 2, if there's some ways we can improve them.
These two captains will take their civilian and Navy crews out to sea and put their new combat systems to the test. These prototypes must accomplish their missions
Hurry up!
before they can be used in the real world.
Everything that we're doing now is a stepping stone.
I want to take the ship out and want to go deploy. We need to be out there and doing things for the fleet, but also I know that we are testing everything out for the follow-on ships of the class. There's some things that we just have to get done.
So if we get things right here, and I'll say when we get things right here, right, we're setting not just us up for success, we are setting the next set of crews up for success, because we're setting the future of the Navy right now, right here, okay?
Four, 3, 2, 1. Mark time, 1-0.
You ready to start GTM, sir? Yes. Start number 1 and number 2 GTM.
On USS Independence, Commander Olin fires up his engines
Shift from manual control to program control.
and prepares to get the 127-meter-long ship out to sea.
Okay, heave around.
9-6 on deck, underway.
Underway. Shift colors.
One thing that's unique about this ship compared to a conventional Navy ship is that it's extremely maneuverable alongside a pier.
A traditional ship has screws that push water directly aft, and they rely on rudders to steer the ship. But this ship is essentially an enormous jet ski. We steer by water jets.
Good power, sir.
Back 30% bucket, all engines aye, sir.
Because we have water jets, we're able to manipulate the configuration back aft to walk the ship sideways from port to starboard. Good rate of movement off the pier, about a half a knot. We do have 2 tugs connected today, and we do that as an insurance policy. The ship is very expensive, and if something were to go wrong, why not have them available? But they won't work today. They're just going to be tied up, standing by, and we're going to work the ship all by ourselves this morning. 70 yards aye. Coming out nice and flat, under control. Independence is a very light ship for its size. I mean, we only draw about 14 feet of water, but we're a very large ship above the water.
A trimaran hull gives Independence improved stability during high-speed maneuvers. It also provides a large amount of interior space for its mission packages. Her flight deck is 4 times the size of a destroyer's.
Cam off deck, I'm in heading mode.
Aye.
Once Independence is clear of the docks, Captain Olin throttles up and heads for the test area.
We can drive 40+ knots. We'll steer by actually angling a water jet.
40 yards to turn, next course, 243.
We can turn on a dime. Very quickly, 80 to 90 degrees per minute, and additionally, we lose very little speed in that turn.
700 yards to turn, next course is 250.
Recommend 284.
USS Independence is one of the fastest Navy ships on the water, but its sister ship is even faster.
Chang, you ready?
Ready, sir.
Taking all lines, get ship underway.
Taking all lines.
Underway!
Underway.
There you go.
At 115 meters, the monohulled USS Freedom is smaller than its sister ship, but it still has a large mission bay that gives its crew access to the water. What sets Freedom apart are its powerful gas turbine engines, which generate almost twice as much horsepower as the turbines on Independence.
One of the things that makes this ship kind of unique is we have the world's largest marine gas turbines.
You know what I want to do?
Got to blow the carbon out, sir.
Sounds good to me.
Autopilot engaged, coming to 245. Here we go. Jets to center.
I like to drive the ship fast. The ship was designed to go 40+ knots. So how I look at it is if it's designed to go fast, well, let's go fast and make sure that it can.
37 knots.
Very well.
She's pulling hard to the right today.
36 knots right.
The ship has clocked speeds at 47 knots, which translates to 87 kilometers per hour. That's about 10 kilometers faster than the larger destroyers and aircraft carriers.
We're designed to ride above the waves, kind of like a speedboat. We also created a rooster tail up above the height of the flight deck. So you've got a 3,000 plus ton warship going 40 plus miles an hour while we're kicking up an Olympic-sized swimming pool of water every second by those jets. It's a great, great sight, and it's very fun to do. What's your speed?
Cap zone 3, right by the line.
I've got a little aggressive personality for ship driving. The U.S. Navy is not used to ships that can drive this fast, so it's a great opportunity for me. Every time that we go fast, we're learning something new, and we're figuring out a way to make the future ships of the class better.
Drop boost jets?
Yeah, drop boost.
D2.
Now, Freedom must make its way north to the Point Mugu Sea Test Range, just west of Los Angeles, where in the morning, the real mission work will begin. After traveling through the night, Freedom arrives at the test range.
All right, I'm going down to combat.
Commander Patrick Thien starts his day below deck in the Mission Control Center as the first test of the 30mm cannons begins.
TI, Captain, TAO, Weapons Buster 1 set, Mount 301.
Buster 1 set, Mount 301, Captain I.
This is our first day of live fire testing. It's pretty much the first time they've ever fired the 30mm mounts off the ship. We're collecting a lot of data to make sure that they do everything that the Navy said they were supposed to do. So if we complete this testing, then the Navy will say this system is safe and effective. You can use it on all LCS class ships.
Identify yourself and state your attention. I am engaged in transit passage.
One grave threat is that a rogue state might close a vital waterway. With a swarm of small, fast, missile-firing boats, the LCS class can use their speed and maneuverability to effectively counter these enemies.
TOCAM, COMEX, LFO-1, Run 1, kill cruciform target with guns.
During this deployment, the Navy will simulate a high-speed attack against Freedom to test her new guns. But the first round will be fired at slower speeds to make sure they're ready for action.
Doing a live fire 30mm gun shoot from each side, Mount 301, 302. Gonna do some zero firing, which is essentially making sure that what we're shooting at on target is actually what we're aiming at.
We're shooting a static target that's just floating in the water. Like any other gun, you have to align the sights. This one is the same way.
While the bridge crew will have a visual on the exercise.
You guys drive from up there, just keep it on that spot.
The precision shooting takes place 2 decks below.
All the guns are designed to be controlled and fired from a MCC or Mission Control Center. We can still fire the guns locally at the gun mount itself, but then we've lost all the radar sensors and everything else that we use to give us a better picture. It's just not as accurate and not as efficient.
DSO guns, Weapon Buster 1 set.
301's ready.
Take firing bearing 009 or 1,000 yards. Clear to fire, weapons free.
I'm getting excited.
Shortly before 0700 hours, the crew's ready to take their first shot.
That's her. It's high, but...
A little high again.
Shooting a little high.
You think? Just a little bit, maybe?
So I think they're adjusting for that right now.
Why we do it now? It's just like zeroing out a rifle, same thing. Ooh, that's better. Oh, a lot better.
As the calibration continues, Freedom's gun zeroes in on its target with deadly accuracy.
Oh, that's right on there.
Look at it.
Oh, that's going right through it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dead on. Okay. 302 ready? All right, let's go do it.
Take firing bearing now 302 commencing.
All right, no worries. Nice.
Something background burst eyes.
I think you're just going to keep punching holes in it.
We can turn it into Swiss cheese.
Power burst, yeah.
There we go.
In an actual combat situation, these automatic cannons would be able to take out a small boat 2 kilometers away.
That's what I'm talking about. Right there. That thing's Swiss cheese.
With the gun zeroed, the team moves on to the next task.
There it is. It's on your screen.
When we do these tests, we start small with low complexity and we work our way up to more complexity. So right now we'll move into shooting a slowly moving target.
I'm your weapon. Go and burst.
Look at that.
Nice.
The crew has the starboard side gun dialed in.
That's here, Captain C-Fire, Mount 301.
Ceasing fire with Mount 301.
Then the port side 302 gun takes aim.
Oh, go the other way. It's gonna be long.
This gun, however, has trouble finding its mark.
302, compact modular sight is down. We can still fire it, but we will not have any stabilization.
Check fire, check fire, check fire.
Check fire!
Go ahead, check fire on.
I ain't firing if you're gonna lose control of the gun. I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy.
This entire deployment is to test these guns. Just a few hours into the exercises, Freedom's mission is already in jeopardy.
Really?
Closer inspection of the gun mount reveals the sighting mechanism is broken. This will sideline the gun until a replacement part is sent to the ship.
These things, they happen. The combat systems on the ship are incredibly complex. This is, again, a brand new ship. This mount has never been installed on a ship like this before.
Frustrating, but not frustrating to the point that it's a game ender that we can't continue on. What's your plan here?
Should move us a couple miles so we can chuck a killer tomato and go shoot it.
All right, I'm shooting.
The team presses on.
Great deal. Yeah, change the plan. Position for the next event, which is the killer tomato shoot.
This time, they'll be firing the ship's native 57mm gun. This gun can accurately hit fast-moving targets up to 8.5 kilometers away, so it's Freedom's first line of defense during any attack.
All stations, TAO, go ahead and visually and electronically clear the range.
TAO, I hold range visually and electronically clear.
Although a permanent fixture on every LCS ship, the crew still needs to align the sights of the gun before it is ready for the high-speed tests.
Green range for fire at Mount 51. Once a ship is coming over course 270, we'll kill the train.
With a 4-meter barrel length, the cannon shoots larger rounds, so it demands a bigger target.
And then our engagement will be against a killer tomato, which is essentially a big balloon, a 10-foot cube floating on the water, big orange thing we can see and shoot at downrange.
Hey, we're standing by to start LFO2.
All right, man, ready to go?
We're green range to kill it. Kill it.
DSO firing.
Oh, it's shooting.
Man's gotta shoot.
Know that.
The gun is hitting its mark, but the killer tomato is a resilient target.
They're designed to be able to take a lot of ammunition, take a lot of hits, because otherwise we'd have to just keep continually putting them out there and putting them out there and putting them out there. All right, all stations, Captain. Ceasefire, Mount 51.
So Thien stops the exercise.
Rounds right on target. 57mm gun is working like a champ.
But Captain Thien's crew still has some work to do.
Bridge Captain, close the enemy killer tomato to 150 yards on the beam.
They'll go find the damn killer tomato and shoot it.
The killer tomato must be cleared off the range.
We're gonna say good.
Twisting to port. We're gonna shoot off our port side.
Commander Thien gives his crew some practice on the ship's 50 caliber gun.
Roger. Hey, FPA, give me a little headway, too. I will kill the dang thing here in about 2 minutes. Come on now.
Let's do it.
Hey, who's got comms with the gun mount? 502, Captain. Are you man ready?
Yes, sir. We're still waiting on the ammunition.
Really? I'm gonna go to my corner and count to 3. Until they don't hurry up, the damn thing's gonna sink anyways.
Man ready.
Man ready, outstanding. All right. Come on now.
Killer tomatoes can be a challenge to sink.
There you go, right on.
You get one hole in it. That hole gets covered with water or fills with water, now you got a big air pocket. So then you gotta shoot that air pocket.
There you go. Get on target and kill it. Come on now.
The target takes several direct hits, but still fails to deflate.
Really? Really?
It's going down.
I know it's going down,
Slowly.
but it ain't going down fast enough.
With crew pride on the line,
Roger, we're changing gear over to the XO so you can shoot.
XO Dale Heineken takes over the gun.
There we go. There we go, right on target. Exo the killer.
Exo, let me see your war face.
That's some positive feedback. You just say it.
I like to eat tomatoes. I don't mind slicing up a few. Honestly, if I get the chance to kill one, I'll kill it as well.
No target.
Davy Jones.
Anytime you get to shoot the guns, it's a lot of fun.
USS Independence has arrived at a simulated minefield to begin the high-tech hunt for mines.
How long's it been raining?
I'm getting a little bit of mist, really no rain.
Okay.
But morning brings a setback.
Good morning, Independence. This is the captain. The schedule has changed significantly. We're experiencing close to 30 knots of true wind. We have predictions of gusts up to 50 knots. There's a small craft advisory, which means we can't proceed.
While Independence is more than capable of handling rough seas, the small civilian support craft monitoring the testing are beached.
This early in the testing process, we want to have the conditions somewhat favorable because we're just learning how to operate these systems, and it's very dangerous, launching this very heavy equipment into the seas when the seas are very rough.
Wind's still coming out of the south?
Yes, sir. It's from the south at 20 knots.
All right, so we're going to be rolling around pretty good.
To make matters worse, the ship's trimaran hull may be fast, but its shallow draft can make for a rough ride.
Yeah, we're going to be rolling all over the place for the next hour.
When we get to the 10-mile mark from shore, we want to turn around and put the seas to our stern, then try to get a good northwest-southeast run. And that'll give us a little bit better ride while we wait this thing out. But the closer we stay to the coast, the less fetch there is on the seas, and the easier our ride will be. So we'll just kind of go back and forth in that range. Okay.
Because the ship rocks and rolls a lot when we're underway and under any kind of conditions of bad weather, everything has to be chained down so it can't move, especially big things like this. If this were for some reason to be loose while the ship was pitching back and forth 25 degrees, you wouldn't be able to stop it. It would hit the side and keep going. So that applies to pretty much everything in here.
The rough ride is a nuisance, but Captain Olin is worried the delay could mean bigger problems down the line.
We have a limited amount of time to get everything done. We have a lot of tests that we have to run, so every day that's lost due to weather, is a part of the mission that we're not going to get done. I'm not going to give up that easy. We'll just kind of stay put and see what happens.
For now, Independence's mission to locate sea mines and neutralize them is at the mercy of the seas. But on an optimally manned ship like the LCS, there's always work to be done.
Coming through this way.
One task, sweepers, takes place every day. And even the commander pulls duty.
Well, the ship is really quite large for the number of people on it. It's a lot of work, and the only way you can get it done is if everybody pitches in.
Oh, gotta get the broom on there. Captain's command philosophy is to have the cleanest ship in the Navy, and everybody cleans. Command Master Chief, XO, CO. You got the combat systems officers right there. He's the bright work extraordinaire. Here's the XO. He's going around doing the same thing pretty much I am.
The captain, seeing him do sweepers with us, it sets the morale real high. I mean, if the captain's working and you're not working,
well, that's pretty clean.
Kind of makes you think. It's maybe I should actually grab a broom and actually work, So
I started my career cleaning. I'm probably going to end my career cleaning, it looks like. Are we about ready to wrap up here?
Good job, everyone.
This is the power of the broom.
The crew of Independence polishes off this duty.
Good, checking course.
And by mid-afternoon, there's a break in the weather.
It's like true wind is shifting.
Commander Hargreaves thinks we should give it one last shot.
Okay.
So, all right, let's do it.
So we want to call away flight quarters? Yes, sir. Okay, another twist. We're on.
The sea has calmed enough to launch the small support craft near shore. And the captain goes forward with the helicopter mission.
Our mission today is to conduct a search of a suspected minefield in shallow water using a laser pod that's connected to an aircraft.
Sea mines have destroyed hundreds of naval vessels since their first use over 200 years ago, and the threat is increasing. Iraqis laid more than 1,300 sea mines in the northern Arabian Gulf during Desert Storm, seriously damaging 2 Navy vessels. And there are new concerns that terrorists will use mines to sabotage key commercial shipping lanes and waterways, such as the Suez Canal. Clearing these mines has always been a life-and-death mission.
Mine warfare has been conducted from wooden ships that have to enter the minefield and transit at about 3 knots or so while they search for mines and then have to stop and destroy the mines. They're in the minefield with very valuable cargo on there called a United States Navy Sailor. The Littoral Combat Ship allows us to be outside of the minefield to locate and neutralize mines with no danger to the sailors.
They do this using a helicopter and a remotely operated semi-submersible to carry out a 3-phase process: detect, identify, and engage.
Coming up!
One tool used by the helicopter is the Airborne Laser Mine Detection System, known as ALMIDS.
It's a sensor that attaches to the helicopter that shoots a laser down to the surface of the water to search for shallow water mines.
Mounted on a Seahawk helicopter, ALMIDS uses pulsed laser light to rapidly image large volumes of water to detect floating and near-surface mines.
From the standpoint of the overall mission, it's the first step. If we can get the shallow water cleared, we know that the water is safe for the RMMV and the other sensors to go in.
10-year Navy veteran Lieutenant Rory Kipper oversees flight operations on the ship.
We're just moving the helicopter out now from the hangar. We have personnel walking beside it, making sure that it's not going to slip, and we have a guy sitting inside riding the brakes for safety.
The $25 million MH-60S Seahawk is a proven Navy asset. Its hinged tail and folding blades reduce its footprint aboard ships.
Once we get out onto the spot, we can unfold the tail, unfold the main rotor blades, and prepare it for flight.
Navy pilots fly the ALMIDS missions, but civilian specialists install it, since the technology is still being tested.
Release the straps. All right, slowly raise the weapon. Up.
The ALMIDS is housed in a 370-kilogram pod attached to the helicopter and controlled from the cockpit. Once the pod is ready to launch, Captain Olin and his Navy crew resume control of the mission.
Call away flight quarters and let's get the ship into the seas. So turn into the seas and slow to about 8 knots.
Flight quarters. All hands man your flight quarter stations. All personnel not involved in flight quarters stand clear of the weather decks after frame 50. Covers are not to be worn topside now.
With its crew of 40 stretched to the limit, team members must perform multiple jobs.
All right, GSM-1 Duarte, ET-1 Hill, HMC Morris, GM-1 Ryan, CS-1 Neristan. All right, everyone, don your Mark 1s, your cranials, stand by outside for FOD walk down.
Before they can launch, the crew assembles for a crucial task to clear the deck of foreign object debris, or FOD.
All right, FOD walk down. Hey, let's walk the FOD.
Culinary specialist Tanika Neristan was in the galley prepping lunch when flight quarters was called.
Hey, spread it out!
Here on board this ship, we wear many hats. I'm in the galley, I refuel, I'm a medical first responder, stand watch on crew surf weapons, I'm on the fire party, and there's a few other jobs that I know I have that I'm not naming off right now.
You're good? Okay. Yeah, all right.
We do get sleep, but sometimes it's not much.
Amber deck. Amber deck.
This is the helo control tower. This up here is the helicopter control officer, or HCO. So they're doing engine startup and rotor engagement. It's actually one of the more dangerous times because until the rotors get fully engaged, they can droop and flop around a bit. The guy down there in yellow on the flight deck is the landing safety enlisted. He's the only person in direct contact with the pilots on the flight deck.
Turbojet green deck. Green deck. Green deck.
The biggest danger is mostly to the helicopter itself, because if you're on a deck like this, the deck moves around with the water. So you can tip the helo over or have it slide across the deck. So last thing they do before launch is the chalk and chain crew goes up there, removes the chains that are holding it down, removes the chocks from the wheels so it's free to take off. But they want to do that absolutely last in case the ship takes a funny roll or something like that.
The helicopter heads out to scan the minefield.
Now the aircraft runs track legs in a shallow water field back and forth and tries to detect mines in that area. The main mission here is to create what we call a swept channel. We're able to isolate all the mines that are in the field and neutralize them. That would be the measure of success for us.
While the Navy has tested each component of the Mine Countermeasures mission package separately, this is the first time they will use them all together.
Mine warfare is hard, and we're always in a constant battle to be able to counter those threats.
Red deck. Red deck.
So everyone here is rooting for the success of the mission package because we think it's a great capability.
They realize this helicopter run must go off without a hitch for Independence to have any chance of completing its mission.
And visually on the range.
After a 2-hour search mission, the helicopter returns to Independence.
The aircraft went out to the suspected minefield, conducted its search, brought the data back to the ship. We downloaded the data from the pod, and they're now conducting data analysis on the ship.
Lead tactician Tracy Nye works with the Navy crew to analyze the intel they've gathered.
This room is the command and control for mine warfare. The screens are all classified. The data that comes back, it's processed, and we very carefully look for these contacts that we want to prosecute in the follow-on missions.
You know where I live. We're still waiting on the actual truth data to come back, but we expect that we did detect the mines out there that we were intended to search for, and we achieved all of our mission objectives.
Our next step would be to reconfigure the helo from non-tow to tow configuration.
We're going to do that today? That's a big job.
I think we're going to start it today.
Yeah.
With the Olmids run completed, they turn their attention to the next phase, searching for mines further below the surface. By helicopter, the flight crew will lower a sonar device into the water and tow it.
After Olmids missions are successfully completed and the surface of the water space is safe for our towed sensors to be put in, we configure the aircraft from a base H-60 helicopter to one that is capable to tow a Q-20 sonar system, which we have here sitting on the deck. We tow it behind the helicopter using a reeling winch.
But the helicopter will only do a fraction of this search. The bulk of the work will be done by the cornerstone of the mission package, a semi-submersible called the RMMV.
This is a diesel-powered RMV remote mine hunting system. That includes this black vehicle here and this sonar down here. That's an AQS-20.
Still an early prototype, it's launched from the back of the ship and uses the same sonar device as the helicopter, but can last 18 hours before refueling. A big advantage over doing it from the air.
What RMV brings to the table is endurance. Really is the workhorse.
When the sun goes down, ship lighting is switched to red to keep the ship's profile to a minimum. As civilians check the readiness of the vehicle, Lieutenant Commander Lance Ruth makes sure his men are ready for the challenges ahead.
Port. Stand at ease. Anybody have any concerns, anything that's come up over the last couple of days? It's better that we discover the problems now than discover them tomorrow. LPOs, you got anything to put out, Chiefs? Because this is all developmental testing, it is kind of a science project. It's about proof of concept. It's about taking the idea and making it a reality. The idea is to actually put the vehicle out and leave it out overnight and then recover in the morning. There will be some long days involved, so get your rest when you can get it.
The mission will actually go for about 18, 20 hours. So this is something that will in a way, mature us to know what to expect and how to handle it. Because once we're operational and we got a whole minefield that we got to clear, it's going to be a lot worse.
Years of development and millions of dollars are on the line when testing resumes in the morning.
We're all geared toward success. Nobody out here wants to fail.
USS Freedom has already suffered the breakdown of one of its 30mm guns, but the other gun mount is still working. So the crew moves on to the next big test.
Captain on the bridge.
We're going to be going against remote-controlled boats. They're going to be heading at the ship about 30-plus knots. This is really kind of the graduate level exercise that we're doing today.
This is Warship 1. Nothing high-speed operations. All vessels requested to stand clear of my wake.
Very challenging. Swarm attack is what we call it. We're a hostile nation. We're trying to overwhelm our defenses.
Green light, MBA, green light.
Bridge eye, all stations. Whoever sees the visual on these guys first, call it out.
And Dorna can see him.
Dorna 067, 8 miles.
There we go. Tracking Dorna eye, 067, 8 miles.
The ship's sensors have picked up 5 remote-controlled boats approaching from several kilometers out and not yet visible to the naked eye.
Swing back around. Let the bridge know we're coming over to course 330.
Thien must use Freedom's speed and quick turning ability to intercept the fast-moving targets.
Let's go ahead and get boost jets engaged.
Boost jets engaged, T6, or 20 knots, sir.
Very well. What's the range?
13,000 yards, sir. 071.
Captain, got him visually.
Say it.
Got him visually right here. About 2 points out the port bow.
What's their speed?
39 knots.
9,000 yards of closing.
5 boats are racing towards Freedom at 55 kilometers per hour. When the Freedom deploys in the near future, every decision the commander makes in a situation like this could mean the difference between life and death.
Ops deck, left full, 340.
Jets are left, 30 degrees, coming to 340.
Let's get up to speed and run with these guys.
Yeah, here we go, here we go. This is where we make our money, Chief. I want to see this thing drive.
It's going to go fast. It's going fast is awesome.
Very well. There they are, right there. Got them.
Range! Range, 5,000 yards.
All right, let's go.
Here we go. Jets are centered. We're at 32 and increasing. 33 knots, increasing.
33 and a half. 34.
36 knots and increasing.
All right.
When you're looking at the ships doing 39 knots and you got vessels inbound to you, they're doing 39, 40 knots. I was saying you're talking about a pretty quick closure rate.
6,000 yards every 3 minutes.
So a lot of things are changing quickly.
We're at 37 knots.
Let them know we're starting to cut across them.
As Freedom closes in on the attacking forces, Thien executes another tactical maneuver.
I'm going to cut across in front of them and get them in 301's firing arcs.
He prepares to cut across the path of the approaching boats before opening fire.
We cross the T, which is a classic naval maneuver for gunfire.
38 knots, sir.
One of my biggest weapons is my wake. I throw about a 20-foot wall of water when I'm going fast. Increase your bucket to left 15!
Left 15 knot.
So with the small boats, when I cut across them and create a wake, I need to gauge, okay, how fast are they going to move through the wake so I know a good open fire range. Should be coming into 301's cutouts here if they're not already there. BMC, say speed of the contacts.
20 knots, sir.
20?
Yes, sir.
Really? All right.
The captain's tactics might be working too well.
Their speed 21.
That's it? Really? No way. Webs. Man, they was going like 40 knots and they slowed down like wicked.
2.7 is their closing distance.
Really? Really? They're not going that fast? They're going like 40 freaking knots.
Yeah, we outran them.
I think your wake might have got them.
They want to call it, knock it off, and reset.
Very well.
Bridge eye slowing down now at 22 knots.
That was very anticlimactic.
Thien's aggressive driving has created a massive wake that overwhelms the remote-controlled boats. They're no longer moving fast enough for the high-speed shootout.
The captain and I turned a little bit too early on that one, and they were coming in like 30, almost 40, then they slowed down a whole heck of a lot. So, anyways, roger that. I'll make sure they can come in a little closer before I shoot them.
Drop boost shots?
Yeah, drop boost. It'll take a while to reset, so drop boost.
All stations, red range, red range.
We kept them farther away from us than they wanted to be. So I controlled the battle space with my speed. I mean, hell, I can't set it up. I can't set it up much better than that. So it was a good run for the ship. We controlled the fight, which is what you want to do all the time.
The test designers are not pleased. They need to prove Freedom can take out attackers with her new guns, not her wake. Project Officer Mike Molyneux needs the captain's help to make it happen.
They completely made our test event very difficult.
Yeah.
So you know your tactics next time? You're ready to reset?
Yeah.
And we got an idea of how they're going to drive now, too.
Yep.
So, which gives us a bit of an advantage.
Very wimpily. But they have a remote control boat. I know.
They really want us to kill them.
I know. And I really want to kill them. In my own special way.
Okay.
Every captain is unique and unto their own. It's his ship. He does what he wants with his ship. So we have to flex to that.
The new gun has yet to fire a shot at the fast-moving targets. Captain Thien will have one more try to prove it can get the job done.
Cutting across them, we weren't going that fast when we cut across them. So
it wasn't that bad, but
it wasn't that bad. We know we can run with them. We can run with them.
With precious time slipping away, Freedom quickly repositions and starts again.
All right, about 20 knots, we're going to open up to about 5 miles from these guys, and then come back to the event. We're going to swing around and do exactly what we just did.
TA9.
OS1.
You got contacts there? It's that blob right about there.
We're 25 degrees off port bow. Range visually clear.
The United States Navy is poised to meet the future.